everybody, and welcome to episode 14 of the Winelander Wednesday Roundup. So great to have you guys here. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And my goodness, you guys are here. I love that you're already here, ready for the party. I just came out of a meeting, and I tell you, I ran. I was a runner. I was a track star. Holy cow. I'm a little out of breath. And you know what? That's why we have water. Woo-wee! That is why we have water. How are you guys doing today? I hope it's good. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. Let's see who's hanging out here with us this afternoon or evening or morning, wherever you might be in the world. Joshua, great to see you. Donald, John, Jim, great to see you, my friend. Daniel, Cowboy John, lots of different Johns in here. Kyle, great to see ya. I see, we got some people tuned in from France. Vicky, great to see ya. I'd like to see some newer faces in here. And of course, for those of you who are here every single week, thank you for being back for another one. Where do we want to start? Holy cow. First and foremost, actually, I know where I want to start. I want to say thank you, by the way, to each and every one of you who not only bared with me through every horrible sounding part of my voice when my allergies just decided to bring down the kingdom last week during the YouTube live. And for those of you who also sent well wishes and every day left a comment on one of my posts saying that you hoped I felt better, I really appreciate that, because I will tell you, it was a rough week last week. Not in the sense that anything really bad happened or anything, but I had such horrible allergy attacks Wednesday and Thursday. If you saw episode 13, you saw episode 13, you know. And then by the time Friday came around, my body was like, this is full on head cold now. It just went from being itchy and sad to just being a head cold. At that point, I was just grateful that nothing was like itching and making me cry anymore. So for those of you who sent well wishes, thank you. Glad to be back, glad to be sounding better, and glad that I'm not having to blow my nose every 3 seconds in front of you guys. So for those of you who bared through it last week, thank you. I appreciate you. And I'm here. We're good. We're back in the saddle, baby. And yeah, I can tell everybody's like, Ashley, you sound a lot better. I feel a lot better. Yesterday was probably the first day since then that I was like, we're feeling better. We're feeling good. You know, like you finally hit that threshold. So we will have this broadcasting. It'll be marvelous. We will have the Facebook Friday Live, since I know we got jilted of the first one of the year last week, this Friday. So super excited about that and super glad to have you guys here. All right, let's see who else is hanging out here with us tonight. Cassie, great to see you. Kel Howard, great to see you. I'm doing well. I'm feeling good. I just came out of a really great meeting with my team, planning all sorts of fun things for you guys in 2024. So I'm looking forward to getting closer and closer to being able to share all those juicy details with you guys. But yeah, that's why we started a minute or so late, because I literally finished and I bolted. I sprinted out here, okay? And Jackson, I love your comment. How sweet. He's like, it's the most stylish person ever who also wears cute boots, aka Ashley Wineland. God bless you. Thank you so much. I appreciate the compliments. I don't think I'm the most fashionistas by any means. I love to keep it simple, but thank you for the compliment. I try to at least look good every day, no matter what level that might be. So I appreciate that, my friend. And David, thank you for the compliments on the hat. This is actually a brand new one I just got in the other day from my good friends over at Web Western. They just released a bunch of new hats for their 2024 collections. This one is one of them right here. I loved it. The second I opened it, I was like, oh, it's a beautiful shade. We got the gold going on. And if you guys like it, I highly recommend going and checking them out over there. And if you do pick up anything from them, let them know that Ashley Wineland sent you over their way. I don't have a coupon code or anything like that for you guys. I just am a fan of the brand. So let's see. Yeah, Jim, yes. Ashley feels like her old self. It's so true. So true. You know, it's that time of year, y'all. People getting sick, things coming in left and right, but it's all good. And Cowboy John, thank you. Says, can't wait to see what 2024 holds for your amazing career, Ashley. It's going to be fun. We got a lot of new music coming down the chute, a lot of fun events and stuff, which, by the way, if you have not noticed yet, because maybe you didn't get notified, in which case that means you're not signed up on Bands in Town or anything yet. We did post some new shows this past week, and I actually have another new one that we are going to get posted up here very soon. So for my friends in North and South Dakota, we did both, okay? We just posted some events. Tri-County Fair, which is taking place in Westchek, North Dakota. You're on the calendar for the summertime. For our friends in Yankton, South Dakota, or of course the nearby area, you are more than welcome to come and join us at the Meridian concert series that is taking place out there in the summertime as well. It's going to be so much fun. I cannot wait. I love being in the Midwest during the summer, y'all. You put on some really fun events, and I'm very excited and very honored to be a part of them this year. So those are two new ones that are up on the calendar, and the one that we are still working on getting posted up, but I can talk about it to you guys, is the fact that we will be up in Jackson Hole, Wyoming for another set of dates. I talked about this the other day on my TikTok and Instagram live, and it drew up some questions, so I want to clarify. For another set of events taking place in Jackson Hole in the beginning of the summer. So May 25th and 26th, I will be up in Jackson Hole, Wyoming for the $1 Million Fest, entertaining you guys. So if you are up in that area around then, or you're trying to figure out where you want to plan your next vacation, you love country music, we're going to be up there in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, May 25th and 26th for the $1 Million Fest. We are so excited about that. I have had my eye on that event for the last couple years. We were finally asked to be a part of it, which to me felt like a huge accomplishment, especially for it to come in on a Tuesday. I was like, yeah, let's go. So we are working on getting all the details for that posted sooner rather than later. So if you go and look on the calendar, it'll be up there very soon. But yes, we're very excited. So a couple new shows on the calendar. There's already a bunch up there though. So if you haven't had the chance to check it out, you can always go to my website, ashleywineland.com, or you can jump on over to sites like Bands in Town or Songkick, and they will have all the shows and their information up there too. All right, let's see. Oh goodness, you guys are just blowing up the comment section. I love it. And let's see. And James, thank you for the compliment. And Cassie, I'm so glad that Belle still uses her blanket. I remember crocheting that blanket years and years ago, and I'm so glad that it is, one, still intact, but like two, that she still uses it to this day. I've seen the photos and stuff that you've sent over and left in comment sections of her using it, and it makes my heart happy. I feel like anybody who does any sort of crafting and then like gifts that to other people, that's like the one thing you hope for, is you spent the time making it, and you love to see it getting used and for it to be loved, and especially a blanket like that, which, like I said, just touches my heart. So I'm glad she still has it. I'm glad she's still using it. And I hope it continues to be an heirloom and a memento of her childhood for the rest of her life. Ugh, gotta love it. And we talked about this yesterday too. A lot of you guys, I'm so sorry that you're so cold. I am so sorry. I know, I feel like I'm gloating right now wearing a tank top. Albeit I am inside, but if you are having any crazy weather, if you are stuck inside because snowdrifts have piled up in front of your door and you can't open it anymore, I'm sending you well wishes. I'm sending you warm well wishes, and that whatever you might be doing to keep yourself occupied, that it's all good and fun, and that you don't have any power outages or, heaven forbid, your heater go out. Y'all, stay warm, okay? And stay safe. I expect check-ins on Friday, okay? Because I know a bunch of y'all are getting the snow today. And Jim, you are absolutely almost Almost right. Just one day off, which is going to be super fun. But my very first national anthem performance of the year, which I am so excited to talk about, is taking place at the Anaheim 2 Supercross race, and it's January 27th. You were just one day off there with the 26th, but it is taking place January 27th at Angel Stadium, a place that I am very well familiar with and very much love. I love working with the Angels too during their season, but we are there on the 27th of this month for Supercross. Super, super excited. And if you are a race fan, you obviously know the racing season, it's off to an awesome start. The races are going to be amazing. And if you've never participated in any sort of racing event, especially a motocross racing event, I can't recommend it enough. It's so much fun. Of course, if you come out to that one, you'll see yours truly singing the anthem, walking around in the pits and all that sort of good stuff. But just from an event standpoint in general, it's one that is a blast, and anybody, any age, will really enjoy it. And if you want to go get tickets for it, you can go to supercrosslive.com and get your tickets, because not only will I be there, okay, I'm also scheduled to do the national anthem for Supercross at their Glendale, Arizona race, which is taking place February 10th. So almost back-to-back weekends. We got a little buffer in between there because I go to Detroit to do the East Coast startup. But we have that on the 27th in Anaheim this month. Got a weekend off, and then we're back with Supercross in Glendale February 10th, doing another national anthem, doing a lot of fun. Oh, I'm so excited. So flippin' excited. So if you guys are race day fans, like I said, you can go and pick up your tickets at supercrosslive.com. If you are coming, please let me know. I love to know ahead of time who's going to be there, especially if you guys go down to the pits and stuff. I would love to run into you. If you do see me, come on up, say hi, don't be shy, take pictures and stuff. It's, I know, kind of like chaos being in the pits because there's so much to look at and see and anything, but if this goes in general, not just at the races. If you see me out in the wild somewhere, okay, feel free to just come up, say hi. If you want a picture, let's take a picture, okay? I absolutely love meeting you guys. When it's not touring season, it kind of kills my heart, because part of what I love about my job is being able to meet you guys and talk to you in person and just have that interaction. Because when it's the off season, it's me and my team in a hermit hole, making all the plans, trying to do all that stuff. And yeah, it gets a little, not lonely per se, but definitely not as exciting as it could be, because I just love interacting with you guys and sharing things with you. So if you do see me out and about at races, at events, at the grocery store, I really don't care. Feel free, come on up, say hello. I'd love to meet you. Ooh, I see. Daniel, you must be a thrifter. He asked, you ever go to Goodwill or anything or thrift stores? Absolutely, 100% I do. I love, especially, to go into a good thrift store. I have to tell you though, my shtick with thrift stores isn't necessarily clothing. If you guys are clothing thrift store hunters, let me know, what are your secrets? I always feel like the thrift stores I go into don't necessarily always lend towards the fashion side of things. It's definitely more antique-esque, which I have no problems with, because one of my favorite things to do at a thrift store is to go look at all the old school kitchenware. I know, I am a huge fan of bone china tea sets. I have, well, if you don't count my Christmas collection, I have one that I collect, and every time I go into a thrift store, it's like Where's Waldo? I try to see if I can find it. The answer is usually no, because of course I picked a very hard to find one, but it makes it super fun anytime I go into a thrift store to try to go and find it. But if you guys have anything that you collect or that you like looking for in thrift stores, I would love to know. Let me know in the comments. When you go thrifting, where do you go? What do you do? blow it up. I love to go. There's a brand of strip malls here in Arizona, but also I think they're a national brand called the Brass Armadillo. They're an antique mall. So much fun, between like Pokemon cards to, you know, vintage Christmas stuff and furniture. And I think you just get a whole array of everything. I love seeing all the different stuff that people collect. And Odell, I have to say thank you for the PSA down in the comments. For anybody who is looking to come to the Wisconsin show that we have on the schedule in Gays Mills, Wisconsin, for the Stump Dodger Bash this year, PSA, you will need to bring your own chairs. I did not know that, Odell, so thank you for educating me. They don't generally tell me that sort of information when I'm talking about it. But obviously you went on their website and got the whole rundown. Clearly you're coming out to see us there, and I love that. So yes, for anybody coming out to the Wisconsin show, it's a super fun festival. We're very excited to be a part of it. And if you want to have seating, you will need to bring your own chairs. And if not, bring your blankets, sit in the fields. Better yet, be up and dancing, okay? Because we get down. We get down. All right. And you guys are so sweet. I appreciate all the love, by the way, that you guys give my national anthems. I feel like every time I post a performance of it here on YouTube, it doesn't matter how many I've done, how many I've put up. You guys are always so lovely to go and watch it and leave such wonderful comments and stuff. So thank you. And if you are new here and you've never heard it before, there's a plethora of venues and videos from all different years for you to go back and listen to and see all the different stuff. There's been some really cool ones. I definitely love a lot of the videos that I have with the Cardinals. Some very unique performances. There's some with the full field flags and different, you know, things going on during the performance. I just love doing stuff with the Arizona Cardinals so much. But there's, of course, ones as far back as from the beginning of my baby career, when it was just all so brand new, doing national anthems for the Arizona Diamondbacks. And actually my very first national anthem that I ever did was for Arizona State University for one of their men's basketball games. And I am a happy and proud alumni of Arizona State University. So if you really want to throw back, I think that's actually up here on YouTube. You can go dig through the archives of videos and find those. But yeah, there's a lot to look at. And I see a lot of you guys are rocking some 15 to 18 degree weather. My goodness. I see we had tornado watch in there, and I'm so glad that everybody is safe and nothing bad happened. I always worry about that with you guys. And I do have to say, there was one instance on tour this year, early on in the year, when we were in Kansas. And if y'all remember that just got was a heart in the throat moment. We were staying in Kansas, and there was the tornado watch warning. And that night we were all sleeping in the bus. We woke up in the middle of the night being like thrown around and stuff. Those winds were so strong. And I just have to say, we were very fortunate to not be in the way of the tornadoes that did touch down. But definitely was one of those, like I said, heart in the throat. You just felt so awful kind of moments for the folks who were affected by those. And if you were, my heart goes out to you, or if you have been, again, my heart goes out to you guys, and we love you, and you know, we're all here to rally around you. So yeah, goodness, what a time. What a time, man. I'm very fortunate to say that our number of weather-related crazies, there's definitely some on the board. That's for sure. Looking at the Indiana tornado warning that blew us off into a field in the middle of the night in the pouring rain. Oh, gosh. That we have definitely came across. But I'm very, very fortunate that nothing too horrible has happened. Ooh, I see we got some really interesting questions and comments in here, so I want to make sure that we get to those. And Cowboy John, I know I hate missing like meeting you guys in South Carolina this year. I was so bummed. Talk about weather-related incidents. We had this super fun show planned for you guys in South Carolina, and unfortunately it's just during that time of the summer hurricane season came, and unfortunately did a nice little number of damage on the venue that we were performing in, and it was deemed unsafe for the event to continue on. The venue was not open, period. And I still think that they are still in repairs to get it back open. So I know my South Carolina friends, you were jilted this year of some Rolling on Tour goodness, and I'm so sorry about that. And we are working super hard to get you guys back on the calendar for 2024 and making that happen. So I want to meet you too. I want to meet all of you guys, as many of y'all as we possibly can on the road this year. So just know that we are working super hard behind the scenes in order to accomplish that. Jackson asked a really fun question. What are your favorite boots for performances? As of right now, I have to say my most common go-tos are typically a corral boot, but I've definitely explored in the boot world, and I do have to say I enjoy Idlewind boots. I think those are super fun. I have some really, really gorgeous Idlewinds. So I've definitely enjoyed adding those into the collection. But yeah, I think out of any boot brand so far, I very strongly lean towards Corral or towards an Idlewind. There's so many good boots out there. Like, I love my Ariats for work. So nice. But I also have a pair of Justin steel-toed boots that I also will do for outdoor work, and those are fantastic too. Totally different styles, but such good boots. So I mean, it just depends on what you're looking at. For like this fancy fashion stuff though, definitely the Corrals and the Idlewinds. Let's see. Ooh, Elon, this is a fun question. It's a fun question for me. How long does it take to crochet a blanket? Crochet stream on Thursdays. I love that. Honestly, we get all up in our cozy vibes. We could just be crafting, having ourselves a good old time. I think that would be fun. Just totally change the vibe. Totally change the vibe. It just depends on a couple different factors. But to sum it up, in a long story short, on an average, you're gonna have to do a couple days worth of crocheting to make a blanket big enough to cover like a bed. Even like a twin-sized bed, let alone anything like queen-sized and stuff. It takes some time. And especially for like those types of projects where you're making them for like bigger beds and stuff, it's a lot of arm movement and stuff. Like you feel like you're ripped. You just worked out at the gym after doing projects like that. So it's definitely dependent, but it's definitely gonna take some time. And James, I'd love to meet you. I love his comment. Says, I've been looking forward to meeting you ever since I joined your virtual street team. And yes, I'd love to meet you guys too. I know, I think it's crazy that there's people on our virtual street team that I've not had the pleasure of meeting in person yet. I would say they're happy to say there's quite a few members on there who I have had the pleasure of meeting, and I loved meeting each and every one of you. And I still know that there's plenty more that we definitely have to check off the list. So hopefully we will help cut down on those numbers this year. Oh, goodness. Cowboy John says, not to brag, but I'm pretty happy my Cowboys are NFC East champs. You know what? It was the one game early in the season where the Cardinals pulled out a W, and I was like, listen, I'm happy for you that you're happy for your team. I'm not a Cowboys lover, being an Arizona Cardinals fan, but so I was happy for that W, but you know what? Well deserved. And hopefully this was a good rebuilding year for the Cardinals and 2025 season. You wait, okay? We'll be more in the game. I love my Cardinals. It just was definitely a journey for the season this year. So, but you know what? I feel like that's anything that, especially with sports, at some point you go through your highs of the franchise and you go through your rebuilding years and you just bear them out and you love each and every one of them. And it's always great to see throughout the week everything that's going on. Cassie asks, I know you have broadcasts on Wednesdays and Fridays. Are there any more broadcasts I may not be aware of? Actually, there is. There's 2 live streams that you did not mention in your comments, so I would love to tell you about them. And they both take place on Tuesdays. So the fun part about Tuesdays is a double broadcast day. It starts off on TikTok at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. So if you're on TikTok, you can go follow me over there at Ashley Wineland. I'll make sure that there's links in the description to all my official and verified profiles. I'm not yet verified on TikTok, but we are working on that, okay? And the more of you guys that follow me over there, the more it helps out. So I do TikTok on Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. That's a 30-minute broadcast. And then at 5:30, we jump on over to Instagram and do another 30-minute broadcast over there. So we start off on TikTok, 5 p.m. Mountain Time, jump over to Instagram, 5:30 p.m. Mountain Time for a full hour's worth of music. Those are music-involved broadcasts. This is the only broadcast I do throughout the week that is more talking-based, podcast style, kind of live stream. Everything else has music involved and a little bit of chit-chat here and there, giving you updates about things that are going on. But it's definitely not as much of a sit down, really get to go back and forth and know you guys like this one is, which is why I like it so much and I think it's so very special. But yeah, each platform's very different, very unique. They all get their own music and communities and different features and stuff. So if you like the music related broadcast, you want to see more of those, you can join us on Tuesdays over there for both of those. So let's see. And Odell, I love that. He says, I will see you this summer. Can't miss you. I love that. And I can't wait to see you this summer too. It's going to be a great time. Let's see. Ooh, David, you're asking really great questions. You said, which other independent artists would you like to do a duet with? There is an artist by the name, I already know this off the top of my head, Emily Ann Roberts is an independent artist right now, and I'm a huge fan of her music. She just actually dropped an album not too long ago called Can't Hide Country, and I have such massive respect for her songwriting, for her vocals, and I just think from an overall like personality standpoint, just an awesome person. So if I had to do a duet with somebody, I would love to do one with her. Just like 2 powerhouse vocal girls. I think it'd be so much fun. So much stinking fun. So if you haven't heard her music before, highly recommend checking it out. I love to give love to fellow other independent artists. So if you guys got any other independent artists that you really love and you want to recommend to the community, feel free. Throw them down in the comments right now. Let's see. John Strader asks, Ashley, at your performances, do you usually play all of your originals or do you mix it up a bit? Yeah, so every concert that you guys come to, you are guaranteed to hear original music for sure. So the originals all get put in there. However, a lot of times we are very fortunate to be able to play longer than the length of my whole original catalog. So we will mix in cover songs in throughout the night as well. And all those covers are very thoughtfully chosen out, and we do some really fun stuff with them to make them different, make them our own, and have a lot of fun up on stage with them. So yeah, so you get all the originals plus some really fun covers. So if that is up your alley, we got a ton of dates on the calendar already with more to come this year, and you can go check those out at ashleywineland.com. Great question. And I know sometimes too, especially if you go follow on Bands in Town, if I don't post them, other people sometimes do. You can typically see what the set list was for the night of that show, which I think is really fun. So if you have ever wondered what the song lineup is, you can go into the past and check out some former set lists on Bands in Town. And Miss Kiki's got it down with the reminders that if you are enjoying this live stream, make sure to give it a nice little thumbs up here on YouTube. If you're not yet subscribed to our community, first of all, welcome, and then subscribe so that way you get notified if you turn on the little bell notification. You'll get notified when we go live, when I post more videos and stuff. I know a bunch of you guys, based off of when the last time we talked, I asked what you would love to see more of content-wise from me in 2024, and a lot of you guys were like, vlogs. We want to see some vlogs. So you best believe I am working really hard right now to plan out some really great vlogs for all these different appearances that we have, the Supercross national anthems being one of them. So I am working on putting all that together, planning my shot list, all that sort of stuff, and all the different ways I want to take you along on that journey. So thank you for your input. And of course, at any point, if you guys have any ideas for videos or other pieces of content that you would love to see, pictures, the ilk, you can definitely leave your thoughts and ideas down in the comments. I certainly appreciate them because I sit down every week and I'm like, what are we going to show people? What do people want to see? And you guys leaving ideas always helps point me in the right direction. Which, by the way, I made a reel the other day with all this like beautiful shots I've taken over the years of one of my favorite places in the world, which is Wyoming. And so many of you guys, especially on Facebook, were like, oh, I love it and I need to go visit. And if you haven't, you should. And if you're like, I don't really know about that, go watch the reel, okay? Go watch it and then tell me how you feel after that, okay? Because, it's one of my favorite places. One of my favorite places in the world. Let's see. And Bobby, why don't you come to Kentucky? Oh my goodness. I actually had the pleasure of playing in Kentucky a couple years ago. It's been a couple years though. So you know what? I am working really hard to try to rectify that in 2024. So keep your eyes out. I am working so hard behind the scenes. Myself and my small but very mighty team are working so hard to really round out this touring schedule for you guys. It is not finished and complete by any means necessary. We still have a bunch of stuff coming in, a bunch of stuff in the works. So if you do not see your state yet on the calendar, do not worry because that is so not finalized yet. So just keep your eye out, turn on the post notifications. Like I said, give it a follow on Bands in Town. That way you'll automatically be notified when we have shows in your area and it'll all be good to go, okay? And let's see. Ash, I think this question is funny. Ashley, are you superstitious? To a degree. There are some superstitions that I believe in and just naturally do out of habit. You know, I am a firm believer in doing the knocking on wood. Anytime somebody says that, it sends me into a panic attack if I'm in an area that doesn't have real wood to knock on. Is anybody experience that? Where somebody's like, knock on wood. And you're like, anything around me right now that might look like wood is artificial. Like it's just the design. It's not real wood. And that stresses me out. So I'm like, if I knock it, I don't think it counts. That's a superstition of mine. I'm also superstitious in the fact that like New Year's Day, we talked about this a little bit last week. If you don't eat black-eyed peas and sauerkraut, it's not good. It's not good luck for the year. You know, that's one of the superstitions I have. I'm sure there's others that I'm not thinking of right now because they're so instinctually done. But yeah. Oh, you want to know a good one? You want to know a really fun one that we do on tour? This is not a superstition though. This is fact. Okay, what I'm about to tell you, pure fact. When you are on tour with me, okay, when we are doing any sort of music related event that I am a part of, nobody is allowed to say anything about the weather, especially using the word rain. No. For my people who've been around for a second, you know. You already know where this is going. But y'all, I kid you not, from the moment I decided I was gonna do country music and that was gonna be my thing, That was going to be my job. That was going to be what I do. It became a deal that anytime I had an event or whatever, the chance of it raining, especially being from Arizona, this is very odd, the chance of it raining like raises exponentially. The chance of there being inclement weather raises exponentially. Ask me how that maths, but somehow it does. And I think it's funny because every time I get like new bandmates and stuff that come out on the road and we tell them this and they're like, oh, you're silly. Like, you don't know. And then they go through a whole tour and by the end, if anybody talks about the weather and brings up rain, could fly from the other side of the room to just karate chop somebody in the mouth and be like, you don't say that around here. You do not say that around here. We do not talk about it. We don't speak of it. You don't even think about it. Because the second you do, guess what's going to happen? The worst is when people are like, oh my gosh, aren't we so lucky the weather held out today? Everybody thought it was going to rain, but now the forecast is saying that it's not. It was supposed to be here, but now it's not. You know what you just did? You summoned a rain demon from its vortex, and it's bringing a special cloud here right now to come and just drench us. It's a thing, y'all. But yeah, that is one superstition that I have. And obviously you can tell I feel very passionately about it. So that's a big one. We don't talk about it. If you see me in person, don't talk to me about it. Okay? It's all good. Unless we're joking about it. Just no. All right. And James, I'm really glad that you enjoy more of this style of broadcast. It's definitely a more podcast style. Yeah, and I think that's the fun part about it. It's just being able to get to sit down and talk almost kind of one-on-one with everybody. You leave comments and stuff, and I love being able to respond to them and all that sort of goodness. It's definitely a pleasure. Oh, man. And Kelly, great to see ya. How is Ashley doing in 2024? Ashley is doing good. Ashley's doing good, my friends. I'm so glad to be in this new year. Lots of good stuff coming around the corner, and I appreciate you being here. James, good question. James Bigham asks, can fans request songs when they see you in person? My policy with song requests is, in certain settings, it definitely fits if we're doing a little bit of a longer show, if I know it, and we can play it, it's one thing. I do have set lists that I follow though, so the chances are if you come up and you're like, Ashley, can you play this song? And it's one that I love to do. The chances of you hearing it at some point in the show are extremely high, and I'll just be like, yeah, you just gotta wait until this moment in the show. However, there have been times too where certain original songs I might not have put in the set list just because we do have like a flow to the show, and then out of nowhere somebody's like, can you play? And those are honestly some of my favorite moments, especially like with songs like Red, White, and Blue, which sometimes I don't put into the show just based off of time and stuff, and just the overall vibe that we're going for. But there have definitely been shows where we're playing through and somebody's like, play Red, White, and Blue. And when you guys yell out things like that, at that point I'm like, okay, we just play them. The band knows it, so we just play them whether it's planned or not. So that's when it comes to requests, that's kind of my policy, is if we know it, I can certainly work it in. If we don't, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna botch a song for you guys. And of course, when it comes to original music, you will more than likely hear every single original tune, but in the instance that you don't, you can always call it out and more than likely strong arm your way into getting it into the show. Let's see. What do we got going on here? I just want to make sure I'm not missing any lovely, lovely comments, since there's so many that have been coming on through here. And I'm glad to see that we're all on the same page, by the way, with the weather thing. Yeah, that superstition is one that it don't go away. It just does not go away. And David, I do not have an official release date yet for the new merchandise. So that was actually part of today's meeting, was working on all the new merchandise and talking about that sort of thing. So very excited about that. However, I do not have an official release date yet for all the new merchandise. So with that being said though, I have decided to just leave all the items that are currently still available in the store. So hats, whatever t-shirts are remaining, and all that up in the store for the holiday sale price. Because we are not restocking those items, I think it's only fair that if you still want to go pick them up, that you can get them at the sales price. Because like I said, once they're gone, they're not getting restocked. So you can still buy all the merchandise right now in the store at cost. Y'all, literally, hats as low as $10. There's shirts as low as $10. I'm gonna ride CDs that are going for $5. Y'all, I've never sold one of my albums for just $5, but you can get that album now for $5, have everything on it. Not every single track, by the way, on the I'm Gonna Ride album is released online. There are tracks that are exclusive to the physical album. So if you are a fan of listening to the music and you want to know what some of those special tracks are that did not get put out online, you can buy the CD, you can listen to them there, burn them down your computer, do it the old school way, all that sort of good stuff. But yeah, those are still there, $5. So there's still a vast array of merchandise. My shirts are starting to dwindle down though. So thank you to each and every one of you guys who has gone the extra mile to help support me and picked up some merchandise items. I really appreciate that, as all that money goes back into developing new merchandise for you guys, as well as helping to get the new music and the 2024, wow, the 2024 tour up and on its feet. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Every little bit that you guys do, it adds up at the end of the day, from the streams to the merchandise and all that sort of good stuff. So thank you. I really do appreciate that. But yeah, so excited for that. Like I said, when I have all those details and stuff, I will let you know. And I actually talked about this the other day on some of my other live streams, but when it comes to announcements, there's 3 different tiers of how the news gets out from Team Wineland to you guys. And so if you wanted to know order of importance and order of delivery of that information, it goes like this. Up at the very top, first ones to get anything plus some. These guys also get content behind the scenes way before anybody else, and some stuff that you get nobody else ever sees. And that is the people who are subscribed via Instagram or Facebook. You just need one or the other, because they both get the same content. You don't need to have both. But if you're subscribed to my pages on Instagram or on Facebook, first announcements, special content, that is $5 a month to be a part of that. Next one down is totally free. You can sign up for my fan club on my website, ashleywineland.com. That's totally free. All I need is your email address and your name, and you're automatically signed up. That is an email-based campaign and community to be a part of. You will get sent stuff to your inbox of new merchandise, new music, all those releases and stuff before anybody else does, despite outside of the subscribers, because they're first. And then it goes to the fan club. And then for any other basic social medias that is just open to the public, anywhere to be found, it goes like that. So if you don't want to just stay on regular social media level, or maybe you find that social media doesn't always notify you on when things happen, despite you maybe turning on your post notification stuff, which totally happens, make sure that you at least go up and sign up for the fan club, so that way I can send all this information to you directly to your inbox. You don't have to go looking for it anywhere. You don't have to be like, when did she post that thing on Facebook and stuff? Or when did she talk about this? If you're in the fan club, it'll go straight to your email, and then you can archive it and do what you need to do. Or, like I said, if you want stuff way before anybody else does, you want the behind the scenes, that exclusive level of content that doesn't go out anywhere else on the internet, Instagram and Facebook also have subscription communities that you can be a part of for $5 a month. And get all that good stuff there. So those are the 3 tiers of how the information goes from Team Wineland out to you guys, that you can be a part of. like I said, if you want to go above and beyond and be a subscriber and help support the things that we're trying to accomplish that way, thank you. I appreciate you. It's never expected though, but I would love for you to at least be a part of the fan club community and get in on all that sort of good stuff sent straight to your inbox. And ooh, this is a really great question, one that I am passionate about. David asks, how can I get my local radio station to start playing your music? So to answer that question, especially being an independent artist, I know some radio stations, if you call in, might be like, oh, well, we don't have any music from her. What you just got to do then is continue to leave comments, continue to call in, say, hey, I would love for you guys to play Ashley Wineland. If they don't have the music, tell them to go find it. Or you can always message me and be like, hey, I called this radio station and they said they didn't have any of your tracks. I'm more than happy to send my tracks to a radio station that you guys listen to. And if I send it and let you know that I sent it, when you call back and they try to tell you that they don't have it, you can be like, no, she emailed it to you. Don't mess around here. But honestly, the best way that you guys can do that is just continue to call in or comment or email, however they like to go about you leaving requests for your radio stations. The more you request it, the more people who request it, the more likely it is that they will add it into their rotation. So it definitely always helps too, if you're looking for a particular song, to call them and ask them and go, hey, I would love to hear, just for an example, I'd love to hear I'm Gonna Ride by Ashley Wineland. Can you play that for me? And yeah, that's one of the easiest things to do. Of course, if you follow them on social media and stuff too, you can always leave comments on their pages that you'd love to hear my music in their rotation. Feel free to tag me in it too. That always helps. Same thing goes for events and venues that you would love to see us at. In any of the upcoming this year, years to come, feel free, go onto their websites, go onto their social media pages, leave comments and emails that say, hey, I love attending this venue or I love attending this event, and I think Ashley Wineland would be a great addition to your lineup. You should go check her out, because we would definitely be there to come and see her, which I think is lovely. And it's kind of funny, Kelly, that you left a comment about Stump Dodger Bash, which is taking place in Wisconsin, of which I'm very excited to see you there this year. But that is an event that we got because people in our community reached out to the coordinators of that event and said, Ashley's really awesome. We like Ashley's music. You should have her at this event. And they reached out and they called me, and now it's a thing and we're making it happen. So it just goes to show you that even when you don't think that the little things that you can do like really make that much of a difference, you never know what that little buzz in somebody's ear might come out to at the end of the day. So you guys already do so much just by being here and supporting me and being in touch with our community and listening to the music and everything, that it makes my day, honestly. That level of support alone is astounding to me. So thank you for being here and for being as supportive as you are of not just myself, but everybody else in this community, which I think is absolutely beautiful. And all that sort of good stuff. But yeah, I appreciate the heck out of you guys. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out and just being good people. I love that, just through and through. If you would love to continue the party, this week I will also be on Facebook for the first Facebook Live broadcast of 2024. So if you want to come be a part of that, make sure to jump on over to Facebook on Friday at 5:30 p.m. Mountain Time. I would love to see you there. And if not, if you're like Ashley, I hang out on YouTube and YouTube is my place. That's where I like to be. And that's okay. I love having you here. Thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you back here next week at 5 p.m. Mountain Time for another Winelander Wednesday Roundup episode. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Have a fantastic rest of your week and your night. And until next time, have a good one.